Hello folks, I'm Takovach, and today we're going to be looking at another showcase of amazing community creations in Instruments of Destruction. As ever, if you enjoy this video, click the subscribe button to get notified when new content goes live. Since the last video, Radiant Games added Steam Workshop integration, making getting hold of these creations that much easier. Where possible, links to all these creations will be listed in the video description. This time, we are going to be categorizing videos into certain types, as there do seem to be trends of vehicles and their creation. Let's get started with magnets. First up, we have the Brick by Yeet Boy. This is a bunch of magnets on wheels, nothing more, nothing less. They're overdriven, so they're a bit more powerful, but you may have seen in the previous video, the magnets can be very, very powerful at causing destruction. We're going to just fire up the top mounted thrusters and turn on the magnets and see what happens. A large amount of destruction. The thrusters on the top, they are there to try and prevent this thing from getting pulled into the building. But as you can see, everything is gone. If you press Q, you can also get rid of everything, and we end up with our beautiful, beautiful brick, and everything else has been destroyed. Next up, the Magnetic Ripper by Vracsten Renem, one of the original creators of the railgun concept. This is a focused magnetic pull apart gun, rips apart buildings. This actually has a minor issue. If you look at the wheels, as it's moving around, it keeps respawning the treads. This is because you've got the two ends of this together and they're interacting, and you don't want to be doing that. We may well have a build tutorial coming up soon, which may point out some of these commonly experienced errors. As it is, so this is a focused version of the brick, so it will only really be attacking what's very, very close by. It will still pull things apart, but not with quite the force of the brick. So this is a bit more of a scalpel to the brick's brick, shall we say. Again, if you ever have problems with frame rate with these, if you just press Q quickly, prevent the metal from interacting with the vehicle, that will make your life a lot easier. On to probably the most powerful magnetic vehicle I've seen so far. Up next we have the MAGNETOR. This has the most magnets I've seen on any vehicle, and it rips apart buildings so quickly. So much so that I personally feel that the plow is not required. So I'm just going to go back into these buildings rather than the front, because the plow, which is extendable, just will cause me issues in causing these buildings to fall apart with just the power of the magnet. The pull is violent, causes incredible destruction. Again, with that slowdown from the magnetized pieces interacting with the vehicle. Again, if you press Q, the frame rate will just increase and everything will be better. As you can see, most of these buildings have now fallen down. This tower is going to come down very, very quickly, and the building next to it, I don't think that's going to survive long at all either. We have one final magnetized vehicle to show you, and you're going to love it. It's a doozy. This is the Black Hole Launcher by Thebombuknow. This one has been moved a little bit closer to this building just to make life easier for myself. To get the black hole to the right place, we're going to use Y to start heading this down towards aiming at the building. It's not very stable, could do with a bit more stability, but the concept's pretty cool. We're going to use some thrusters to start off some movement, and then we're going to press up to release the bomb. And I did just turn the thrusters off to get this closer. And once it gets to the building, we'll just press G to start the magnets off. Goodbye building. Launched from afar. That's the end of the magnet section. On to the next one. Up next, we have the Quadrupedal Mechwalker Mark IV by Racer. This is very much a proof of concept more than particularly brilliant vehicle. But we've got a couple of walking... Well, we have a twisting, walking robot here. Using some swivels that are putting down feet. And this is walking the vehicle along. We're going to see what happens when it reaches this building. And I'm pretty sure this is just not going to stop. As you see, it's just walking straight through. It doesn't care. There's a building there. It is destroying that tower. Half the building's floor is gone. Oh, we've got physics interactions. Gotta love them. But we've managed to walk through that building and it's all come down. This is the Walker Mark III by Racer. Next up, we have the Mechwalker Prototype by Cyberpunk Kitsune. This is another walker, and it has a very different method of locomotion. Mostly I'm just using the left and right buttons, arrows, to encourage this thing to start moving. This isn't like the most refined of vehicles, but we like to feature some things which are not necessarily as refined, but you know, have a good concept behind them. I think this is pretty cool for what it's trying to do. Still managed to get some epic destruction, even if it's not the most finished of ideas. The Anti-Person Mine by Soul Reaper NL has formed quite a lot of concepts around itself. This is a magnetic launcher of cannonballs. You turn on the magnets, you press F to fire the cannons, and that grabs all of the balls into this bucket here. Keep going till you've got, say, 100 balls in there. 102 in this instance. And then you aim. It's not particularly stable. Has the typical issue of heavy weight and a light bot frame, causing quite a lot of movement. For that end, Soul Reaper's added in these thrusters to help it stay down on the ground. We're just going to rotate a little bit so that we are aiming directly at the building. Actually aiming slightly down, so let's aim that a little bit. And then when we press Q to repel the balls, we get a spread, and you know, the building remains where it is, but it's taken some hits. In my only entry onto this list, we have the tank shotgun. This is the same concept and the same initial build as Soulkeeper NL. I used that build to make this, making it a little bit wider and changing the outside of the tank to allow for a nicer aperture. We'll see what the difference it makes. So we'll turn on the magnets, fire the cannon. I'm going to fire it so we've got about 100 balls in that cavity there. We're going to turn on the jets, and then we're going to aim basically as close to along the ground as we can. There we go. And then we're going to pivot a little bit just to get a better centering. I'm going to press Q to let the balls go. As you see, we were so accurate. Well, we almost left the tower standing. If we'd been a bit closer, we would have done. But we've now got a much more focused firing shotgun. Carrying on the concept of the magnetic shotgun, we have the shotgun Railcannon by Richard 333. This runs the very similar concept of magnets on, firing many balls into an aperture. This time there is no container, just the hole that they are in. And if we put about 150 balls in there, we should be destroying the building in front of us quite swiftly. This does have a bunch of rockets on there, which it does not need. The tank can move on its own absolutely fine, and the rockets are just additional and unnecessary, really. As it is, pressing Q will let those balls go, and we end up making those buildings into an utter mess. They may come down. I'm not sure if everything will come down, but power into the building is probably going to cause that to fall. We have one more of these shotguns to show you, and this has a very different design to the others. Let's check it out. The Magnetic Shotgun V2. This is by Durgun. Again, it still works on the same concept. We will be turning on the magnets. This time it's on R. Firing the balls into the aperture is on E. It's only firing one at a time, so I'm going to need to put in a fair few. As you can see, they're starting to make their way down the barrel. This has an interesting aiming mechanism where up and down will move the front up and down, left and right will move the back up and down. Now I'm going to aim it kind of down a little bit at the base of the building in front of us. I'm going to press F to fire. Here we get some recoil. Quite a lot of explosions happening at the bottom of the building, so I think this is going to be falling down. There we go. All these concepts very, very similar, but nice little things to use. Try to work out the best way of getting those balls to head out and destroy some buildings. On to our next category, flight. Next up we have the House Eater by MrNoNameLP. We have some chainsaws, we have some saw blades, and we get to get those spinning around, and then we'll see what it will do to these buildings. And the answer is going to be quite a lot and quickly. This is a pure destruction vehicle. It will take down anything in its path, and occasionally it even picks up roofs and other parts of these buildings, and they go into the back of the truck. This time, apparently, we're not going to get any of that. But this is making very, very quick work of the structural zoo. Ah, there we go. We have caught the tower. And we'll get this bit of the building too. This is the mining mech by ThisNameIsntTaken. This looks like a miner with pickaxes. And we have movement and we have extension of those arms. Let's go and see what it does to a building. Heading up to this innocent looking building here. We get some pretty epic destruction straight off the bat. But there are some things which I think are slightly incorrect with this machine, and I'm going to show you how to make some changes to make things better. So, putting up the build menu, a couple of things I would do is I'd reverse the direction on both of these pivots, because up was going down and down was going up. I'd also increase the strength up to 3, and we'll see what difference we've managed to make. There are some other changes I would make as well, but these are the two immediate ones. So now up goes up and down goes down, but it goes a bit faster. And in my mind, it is a little bit more destructive. The other things I would probably do is have some limitations on the movement of the picks, because currently you can go right the way around, and that can cause some trouble. I would have it so that you can't reach down to where the tires are, and we won't. That is the end of the first part of this showcase. This was intended to be one video, and then I realised that we had a lot of good vehicles to showcase, and so we're going to have another part of this, which will come out within a day or so of the release of this one. There's a lot more good stuff to see, including novelty vehicles, an incredible mech, and more destruction, as you'd expect from the game. This video would not have been possible without the help of the user Jenkins, who nominated every single one of the vehicles in this showcase. Once again, if you have enjoyed this video, do consider clicking that subscribe button and getting notified when new content comes out. I hope to see you soon.